Hey kids, it's your boy Dagda here, and I'm here to talk to you about another video game. And the video game that I'm gonna talk to you about is called Romancing Saga 2. Drum roll, please. Romancing Saga 2 was one of the first open world role-playing games in the world, and it's kind of surprising because you don't really expect that from the JRPG genre. Back in the day, open world sandboxes were somewhat seen as too ambitious, despite some of the choices in this game probably rivaling Fable or a BioWare game. BioWare in its current state. So, Romance the Saga 2 takes place in some imaginary world where, like, there were 7 heroes who disappeared and then they became evil. And one of them is being a big doo-doo head in the town nearby. And you gotta go, you play a guy called Gerard, who is apparently a big nerd, who is just kind of like going by in life, but his dad is like trying to teach him to be more like a jock like him. And his brother's also like, yeah, you're weak, dude. And then so the story goes on. At the start, you name a character, but that's not the character you're gonna play. That's the character you play at the end of the game. Wow. Well, yeah. So Gerard, you play as Gerard for a while, and then like, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but people start dying, and he gets like this super magic that all of his like thoughts and memories go to the next generation, kind of like Avatar. In fact, like, Romancing Saga 2 reminds me of two things: Overlord and Avatar. Yeah, and instead of playing named characters with pathos or personality or anything like that, you just kind of play generic NPC servants in your party, your kingdom, and you just sort of like, you just go around and start doing stuff. This is probably like the first game where you're not like a vagabond team of Robin Hoods trying to rise up against the evil bad guys. You're in fact the Emperor, and you're fighting the 7 heroes. So it's a real, I don't know if it's supposed to be a joke or a commentary, but I feel like no one else has done this, and like it just really shows you a really different side of what we could have had in RPGs. As if you don't know, guys, this is like the 4th game on the series, if you don't include Game Boy. Romancing Saga 2 is there was Saga before that, but Romancing Saga 2 is the 2nd game, and I will review the 1st game at some point. It's one of my favorite games. I just want to kind of get better at editing and stuff like that, though you might see that I don't do any editing right now, so that I could best display my feelings about that game, because it's an incredible game. The Romancing Saga was kind of made by how I would say it is, like the interns at Final Fantasy. You don't quote me on this, but it's basically the assets that they had left over from like making Final Fantasy 4, 5, and 6 kind of went into the Romancing Saga games, and they were a big success in Japan where they weren't really successful here, mainly because Romancing Saga 2 didn't get translated until a few years ago, and we've been waiting for this game for a long time. Despite the kind of open nature of the game, you're kind of like presented with kind of choices, And generally, the choice is, do you want the worst option or the best option? There's like probably like only a few choices in the game that dramatically change your playthrough, and that's basically whether or not you want dark magic. And I'm trying to think of another one, and I can't think of. But well, yeah, like what order you do the bad guys. What order you kill the bosses in the game changes their stats and situation with you. It's like some bosses have like a normal mode and then like an enraged mode, and the way that you should kind of like progress through this game is I'd say get to the DLC as soon as possible so that you can recruit the cool characters and farm skill levels. Because this with this new remake, we have a new game plus feature, and I'm not saying like you need it, but playing this game raw with no information, no guide or anything like that, you're gonna have a bad time. And the new game plus option doesn't level up your HP or your stats, but lets you keep your weapon levels. And yeah, the main difference between this game and all the other games is that there's only 3 stats, and it's magic points, skill points, and health points. And yeah, you can transfer your skill points and magic points to new save. Standout characters. Gerard is pretty much the only emperor with any character in the game. Of course, you can kind of role play what you think the character you're playing is like. I generally just was going with variations of what I thought was the best team. Like if I had one guy in my team and it's like picking my next emperor, I'd pick that guy so I didn't have to change my team too much. But getting some of the formations is kind of essential to winning the game. There's a real emphasis on formations. On top of that, real gripe though is this is a very save scummy game. And don't tell me, oh yeah, I'm above save scumming, but the way that encounters work in this game is that difficulty is constantly leveled to you, so it's kind of like Oblivion. And if you don't know, I don't really like the Oblivion level system. I feel that your stats greatly are under leveled, even if you're going for 3 every or 5 every stat level up or whatever. But less about Oblivion. Yeah, and also when you die, you only get 3 choices of Emperor. And if you don't want one of them, I guess you're going to have to reload your save. Hopefully that wasn't before a boss. Yeah, so yeah, you can change your Emperor at any time. So sometimes I would like make a guy and then like go learn all the formations and then kill myself solo. And that sounds pretty depressing, but music's quite a jam. Sprite work is absolutely amazing. This is from Square Enix back in their prime. The remasters graphics are way better. If you went and looked at the SNES version, you'd probably not like it. Yeah, if I have any tips, is just kind of I would start a save and try and level as much weapon levels as you can, and then get magic and try and level up your magic as much as you can. I'd suggest going to maybe the Ant Queen's Hive and just kind of grinding there until you have everything up. And this is a grindy game. And honestly, at the end of the game, what rules is magic items. You want to get the best magic items, and magic items actually transfer between saves. Get the worm blade so you can do an AoE very easily with the sword. That just kind of blitzes through content for a while. On top of that, you can. What else is there? Yeah, just keep turning on the blacksmith on your final save. Don't worry about it before that. Build anything that comes into play. Money transfers over between saves. So if there's something that you can't afford your first playthrough, just save up money and then restart your save. Don't feel bad about restarting your save multiple times. I'm trying to think of anything else. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. Yeah, beyond the choices not really mattering too much, and being a somewhat plot island-like story, I had quite a lot of fun. The combat system is okay. It kind of boils down to the best options. So you eventually just get the best options, and that's the game. Anyway, I hope you had fun, and I'll catch you soon.